If there's one thing that completely breaks you when you have fibromyalgia, it's sleep. You do everything right, but your body just won't rest. In this video, I'll share 5 lesser-known, research-backed strategies that go beyond the usual sleep hygiene, including one that completely changed my nights after years of struggling. So let's start by looking at why sleep is such a challenge with fibromyalgia. Sleep problems can show up differently for everyone. Lying awake for hours, waking every hour, or finally drifting off just before morning. What's happening is that fibromyalgia actually disrupts the deep restorative stages of sleep, the time when your body heals and your brain processes emotions. That's why you can wake up exhausted even after 8 hours in bed. Sometimes it feels like you've been dreaming all night, but never resting. That's called non-restorative sleep. And a big part of it comes from the nervous system being stuck in high alert. When your body doesn't feel safe, it can't drop into deep rest. During the day, even small stresses, a pain flare, fatigue, or an emotional shock can add up and keep the stress system switched on at night. So if you take nothing else from this video, remember this: the goal of improving sleep with fibromyalgia is to teach your body you're safe now. You can rest. Every technique in this video aims to help you do exactly that. Now let's talk about what to do when your mind just won't switch off. To-do lists, worries, ideas, they all seem to appear the minute your head hits the pillow. When that happens, get up and write everything down. Sometimes I grab a notebook, other times I record a quick voice note. Once it's out of your head, your brain relaxes because it knows it won't forget. That one simple act tells your nervous system it's safe, you can rest now. Pain at night is one of fibro's toughest battles. If pain is the reason you're awake, don't just lie there suffering. Do what you can. For example, take a mild painkiller that your doctor has approved for you, and that'll help take the edge off and let your body relax enough to drift. Then shift focus away from pain and into calm. Try reading something light, or listen to a guided relaxation or body scan meditation. Gently releasing muscle tension signals to your body you're safe, you can rest. If you use supplements, magnesium may help with relaxation, but always check with your doctor first. Too much can cause imbalance or interact with medications, so start small. Now let's move on to what to do if you wake up early. If it's 5 or 6 a.m., it's often better just to start your day. Forcing more sleep can make you feel worse, but those 2 or 3 a.m. wake-ups are different. A therapist once told me that this is often when your brain tries to process emotions at that time, and fibro interrupts that process. When that happens, I'll journal or I'll meditate. I'll ask myself, what am I feeling right now? Or did something upset me today or yesterday? And can I let go of it now? This also links to something called the sleep reset technique. If you're lying awake for more than about 20 minutes, get up and reset. Do something calm, stretch, sip water, read a few pages until you feel sleepy again, and then go back to bed. This retrains your body that bed means sleep, not stress. If you're finding this video helpful so far, hit the like button. It helps other fibro heroes find these tools. And drop a moon or a star in the comments if you're going to try any of these tips tonight. Okay, now let's look at what happens when you're too tired to sleep. This happens to me, so I did some research to find out what's going on. It sounds strange, but being overtired can actually flip your body into a stress state. And when your stress hormones stay high, your body can't switch off, even if you're exhausted. That's why you might go to bed early hoping to catch up on some sleep and then toss and turn for hours. To calm that stress response, you can try something like 4-7-8 breathing. Now this really helps your body calm down from stress. Breathe in for 4, hold your breath for 7, and then breathe out for 8. And do that a few times and that should calm you down. You can also try visualization. So picture something in your mind that's soothing and calming for you. It could be a beach scene with waves slowly lapping up, or it could be something like, just imagine a candle flame. And another one that I use quite often is counting down. You can try counting sheep, sometimes that works for someone, but I like to count backwards from 10, and each count is a deep breath in and out. And to be honest, I rarely get to number 1. And if these don't work, that's okay. Get up, reset, and try again later. I will be making some videos on guided visualizations, especially for fibro, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on them. Here's what helps me. So I use a lavender spray on the pillow about 15 minutes before bed, and I always find I get a bit of a heavier night's sleep when I use that. Once it gets to evening, I use soft lamp light instead of overhead lights in my bedroom. Blackout curtains help to keep the room dark and cool as well. And most importantly, keeping my phone out of the bedroom. Even on silent, your brain knows it's there. Turning it off completely helped me sleep better. Morning and evening light are really crucial. If you wake up early, go to a window and look at the morning light towards the direction where the sun is rising. The first and last light of the day contains the colors that regulate melatonin and your circadian rhythm, which is your waking and sleeping routine. So even 2 minutes of sunrise or sunset light can help reset your body clock. Now, another idea is that if you can't get outside, you can try to buy one of those SAD lamps, the SAD lamp, which can mimic natural light and strengthen your circadian rhythm, especially helpful in the darker winter months. And if you can, at night, switch to red or amber lighting. That can mean using a warm tone bedside bulb, or a Himalayan salt lamp, or even a small clip-on nightlight designed for sleep. They emit the right spectrum that won't suppress melatonin like blue or white light does, which we all know comes from our phones. I'll link to some of these types of lamps in the description below so that you can explore them further. And these will be affiliate links. There'll be no extra cost to you, but they will help out the channel a little bit. Another thing that's important is how comfortable you are when you're asleep. So it's worth investing in a good pillow or a comfortable mattress. Recently, my husband bought a pillow which he didn't like, but I found was perfect for me as a side sleeper. I'll try and link to that below as well. And it worked perfectly for my side sleeping, and it gave me the best night's sleep I've had in weeks. So experiment. The right pillow for your sleep position can change everything. Finally, some people find comfort in a weighted blanket. If touch isn't an issue for you, or if you're not sensitive to weight and touch, then try a weighted blanket. It's meant to be quite comforting for your emotional state as well as your physical comfort. And I think it's sort of similar to the idea of when we swaddle a baby and they're tucked in tight. That little bit of weight can sometimes be quite relaxing. So now I'm going to quickly go through some of the familiar advice on sleep hygiene. You may have heard this before, but just in case there's one thing that you haven't heard, I'm mentioning it here briefly. So these are the sleep hygiene basics. So keep your sleep and wake times constant as near as you can. Limit caffeine after midday. Avoid heavy meals close to bedtime. Keep your bedroom around 18 degrees centigrade, and use your bed only for sleep and intimacy. No scrolling or TV in bed. These small actions train your body that bed means rest, and with fibro, consistency is everything. So now let's talk about naps and medications. Naps can help, but keep them short, 15 to 20 minutes ideally in the early afternoon. Any longer and you risk confusing your body clock and disrupting your nighttime sleep. If your sleep is severely disrupted, doctors sometimes can prescribe mild antidepressants that also help with pain and sleep quality. Natural supports for sleep like chamomile, lavender, magnesium, and valerian can help some people, and you can find those at your health shop. Health shop blends often combine these in sleep teas or capsules. Always check with your doctor or pharmacist first, especially if you're on other medication. Some people also use things like St. John's wort, more for mood than sleep, or shop-bought herbal sleep tablets. Evidence varies on these, but if you want to try them, research the ingredients carefully and start with a low dose. And finally, if you've tried everything and you still can't sleep, check with your doctor about other sleep disorders. Many of us also have sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome. I was diagnosed with mild sleep apnea after years of fatigue, partly because I'd gained weight with my fibro when my mobility went down. And so that can make you a bit more prone to snoring and beginning to pause in your breathing, which is sleep apnea. And you can get that checked, and treating that alone can transform your rest as well. Now let's have a look at some therapies that might help. So you might have heard of CBT, but there's also something called cbt-i, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, especially for insomnia. It's one of the best researched non-drug options for fibro-related sleep issues. cbt-i retrains your brain and habits around sleep. Here are a few principles that you can use straight away from cbt-i. Only using the bed for sleep, as I've mentioned before, and intimacy. If you can't sleep, get up and reset. Don't lie there worrying. We've talked about that earlier as well. Keep a consistent wake time. This is really important. So if you normally go to bed about 11 p.m. and wake up around 7, try and stick to that each night as near as possible. Challenge any catastrophic thoughts, like if I don't sleep, tomorrow is ruined. That's not necessarily the case, so challenge those thoughts. And research shows that cbt-i can halve the amount of time spent awake at night, and the improvements last longer than medication. So you can speak to your doctor about that, or sometimes in the UK you can self-refer for these things. So now let's bring it all together. So we're creating something that might be your own sleep toolbox. Start small. Choose 1 or 2 ideas that feel doable. Maybe turning off screens earlier or trying the reset method if you get up at night. And when those things become a habit and you feel comfortable with them, layer in another step. Think of it like filling cracks in a wall. Each small action strengthens the whole structure. So sleep with fibromyalgia is tough, but you're not powerless. You now have a full toolbox of all these techniques we've talked about to calm your mind and ease your pain. Things like resetting, cbt-i, comfortable bedding, etc., and so much more. And remember, even 5 to 6 hours of good quality sleep, good quality restorative sleep, can make a real difference. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each time, each week, a little bit more progress. So be kind to yourself, keep experimenting, and remind your body every night, you're safe now, you can rest. Let that become your new mantra if you're struggling with sleep. So until next time, take care of yourselves and be well.